Hello, my name is Junior Brown, and I'm taking the ECSP summer course over Developmentally Appropriate Curriculum. This book will discuss a lot of different teaching styles for teachers and teachers to use with children, such as preschoolers. The chapter that I'm going to discuss today is Chapter 11. In the Developmentally Appropriate Curriculum, it is written by Marjorie J. Kostelnik, Ann K. Soderman, Alice Phipps Weirman, Michelle L. Rupert. These are the best practices in early childhood education. The chapter I'm discussing today is Chapter 11. In Chapter 11, we are learning about the cognitive domain. In the cognitive domain, stated here by the NAEYC standards, children will learn how to develop their brain and how to learn through their brain. Also, it is going to show intersections between the neuroscience and education and how the brain works while connecting to learning and education. Throughout this, there are many different things to learn about the cognitive domain, such as how the brain to mind develops through cognitive processing. Although procedures such as fMRI allows us to better understand the way the physical brain operates, the way in which humans actually think, reason, and develop, and other cognitive processes remains locked in theory. Since we're talking about theory, I also want to discuss some of the theorists, such as Jean Piaget, who is a cognitive constructivist, Lee Vygotsky, which is a social cultural constructivist, and Robert Siegler, which is an information processing approach to cognition. These are just some of the cognitive theories that are going to be discussed in the cognitive domain. Some of the parts of the cognitive domain are a 5-part process of the cognitive wheel, such as physical knowledge, logical mathematical knowledge, representational knowledge, social conventional knowledge, and metacognitive knowledge. In physical knowledge, children will learn how to explore size, color, shape, weight, texture, capacity, consistency, taste, smell, flexibility, rigidity, as well as how objects function in the world. For example, how objects fall down and not up. Some objects maintain their shape. Others take different forms depending on conditions. They will also learn properties of objects and laws of nature. Through the logical mathematical knowledge portion of the cognitive wheel, children will learn number concepts and operations. Children will also explore number concepts and operations through matching, grouping, patterning, ordering, counting, graphing, measuring, and establishing one-to-one correspondence, exploring spatial relations, and time. Through the representational knowledge section, children will learn about tangible expressions and the thoughts of symbols. Children might recognize and use actions, gestures, pictures, written words, numerals, and or other symbols to represent ideas, thoughts, feelings, and events. In the social conventional knowledge section, it talks about beliefs, facts, traditions, and stories. Children will learn the names of objects, actions, and symbols, such as facts, history, customs, social expectations, and rules. And lastly, in the metacognitive knowledge section, children will learn about thinking about one's own thoughts, such as children communicating their internal thought processes to themselves and to others. They will also consciously plan tasks, monitor and evaluate personal progress by articulating their thinking aloud and or in writing. Some of these are just parts of the cognitive wheel, but also there are different parts throughout the cognitive domain that children can learn, such as through science, which we will learn about. In science, children can have questions and inquire about different things, such as scientific inquiry, matter, energy, motion, space science, earth science, and life science. These are just parts of how the children in preschool might learn different science vocabulary. Another thing is they will learn science through using inquiry. Children will learn by observing, formulating questions based on their observation, developing ideas and making predictions, devising strategies for testing predictions, analyzing and drawing conclusions, and lastly, articulating their findings to others. Lastly, children will learn through mathematics. There are different ways children can learn, but some of the things that teachers need to express and establish is that there are crucial factors in how well children can learn to become critical thinkers and problem solvers in your classroom. Some of these will depend upon how you arrange your classroom, the opportunities you present for real problem-solving skills, the methods you use and model, and the way in which you allow children to use your materials and work. Some of these things will be effective in how children learn through mathematics and teaching them basic concepts while they are young and early in school. The importance of having children develop counting and number sense in their early years cannot be emphasized enough. While there has been some improvement, children need to learn how to develop counting skills and number skills because it is a part of everyday life, and it's skills they need to learn early on that they can use on down the road, in school and outside of school. I love a quote the book makes when it says, "If you are teaching preschoolers and kindergartners, use every opportunity to have them practice their counting skills, such as finger plays, days in school, numbers, or blocks. Also ask questions, such as how many, who has more, how many more do we need?" Some of these are the questions that will allow them to understand mathematics and how to connect it to daily life and connect their skills. Also, there are goals that the NCTM and NAYC state for children to learn: to value mathematics, become confident in their ability to perform mathematics, become mathematical problem solvers, learn to communicate mathematically, and learn to reason mathematically. Some of the goals for science and math can vary, but through math there are different sections such as numbers and operations, algebra, geometry, measurement, and data analysis. Not only is learning mathematics and teaching science parts of the cognitive domain, but there are things such as teaching strategies. There are exactly 8 teaching strategies in the cognitive domain. The first one is encourage intellectual autonomy when expanding children's general cognitive skills, develop children's ability to move out of a comfort zone with respect to inaccurate concepts, and use carefully formulated comments and questions to facilitate their discovery, such as, what did you notice about it? Tell me different things that you learned. What do you think the answer might be? These are just a few of the questions to incorporate the second strategy. The third strategy is to place more emphasis on children's understanding of concepts than on rote learning. Some of these things are very important, especially when teaching preschoolers. The fourth one is to integrate science and mathematical concepts and skills throughout all areas of early childhood curriculum. Extend children's science and mathematical vocabulary is the fifth strategy. The sixth one is to use everyday experiences in the classroom to help children connect science and math to daily living and see it as useful and necessary. I cannot agree with this statement more. It is so important to use what children learn through everyday experiences because it lets them connect in their brain to learning in school. Furthermore, you need to develop a positive learning attitude and practice in the classroom. Children need to see that in teachers, and teachers need to model that. I love that teachers want to be enthusiastic learners because that also shows children that learning can be fun, that it is an important thing to do, that it is not just a hum-ho attitude to have towards learning. It is exciting and it is fun and it can be enthusiastic. And lastly, to 8, use collections as a way to extend and assess children's ability to categorize, classify, and display information. Children can use individuals or group objects to learn how to classify and sort things. This is one of the strategies that I'm going to use today throughout my lesson. In my lesson, I'm going to show how to sort things through colors such as red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. Throughout this lesson, I'm going to allow a child to be displayed and to show the activity on a more appropriate level for preschoolers. There's more than just the learning concept of it. It is allowing them to connect their colors to what they learn and see around them, such as the colors that they wear to school, the colors they pick out when they're at the grocery store, such as toys, different things, will allow them to connect colors to daily life while learning in the classroom. that I have displayed today are tongs, such as this black and silver one. These will be used to help a child with their fine and gross motor skills. Their motor skills may just be developed on pinching the tongs to grab the items out of the basket to place in different objects such as a muffin pan, an ice tray, or the tubes on the poster. Some of the materials that you will need, along with the tongs and the scoop, are possibly a straw or an object to dig out any of the pom-poms that get stuck in the tubes. Furthermore, it shows that these tubes, there are different colors and sizes. On this poster board, there's red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. These are all of different sizes, heights, and widths. Throughout this, the children will show that different sizes of balls may or may not fit in the different tubes, or they may not correctly correspond. Hopefully through this, children will learn how to display their colors and connect them. Also, they will also learn how to connect the colors through the ice tray and the muffin pan. In the muffin pan, there's just pieces of construction paper, double-sided tape to the bottom of them, and in the ice tray as well. In the poster board, there's just tubes that I've created through cardstock paper. You can use tubes such as your paper towel rolls or PVC pipes and spray paint them to coordinate to the color that you would like. Also, the child that I have chosen today is a very close friend of mine that I know, and I have been approved by their parents to video them today with my lesson. The child's name is Elijah, and he has just turned 5 years old. He is exiting preschool, so this is a perfect opportunity to display how a child can connect their cognitive domain to learning their colors through daily living and through a lesson in the classroom. Some of the different things that I would first establish in the classroom when I address the activity would be, what are some different colors that are on the children's clothes, such as their shirt, their shoes, their pants. Another thing is I would allow them to look around the classroom in different colors that they see. And another thing I would do is to address possibly what I'm wearing. Does it match some other kids' clothes? And that would be some other stuff that I would connect to their living, to what they're learning in the classroom. Some stuff I would set up is I would make sure there would be no hazards and no dangers to the students when they're learning. I would make sure that they take turns choosing the materials and using the tools. Also, I would assess them by the end of the lesson by seeing where they placed the different colors in the ice cube tray and in the muffin tray, along with the tubes on the poster. Lastly, I would let the children talk with one another and communicate the colors that they have been using, such as the red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple balls, how they feel different. Also, the balls are different sizes and shapes and textures. The different textures will let the kids use their sensory skills along with their motor skills in this activity. They will learn that the balls may be squishy and soft, or they might be hard and bristly, such as this green ball. There are also other colors that are not in the wheel that are black and white and pink that the children can also see the differences in. So, to further my lesson and to extend how it is going to connect to children in the preschool age, I've allowed Elijah to come and participate in my activity. Elijah, are you ready to come play with the pom-pom balls? Today, he is going to express how a child connects the balls to the tubes and the ice tray and muffin pan. He is going to be allowed to use the materials and tools to display the colors. During this, I'm going to allow him to play with the balls on his own, and then I will later on assess what he has learned and allow him to ask questions and me to ask questions that he has learned throughout the lesson. Elijah, you can play with all the materials, okay? You get to sort them out like you would like. Does that one have bristles?
Yeah.
And what color was that?
Red.
Red? Is it a different color than orange?
Yeah.
Okay, you want to show what color that one is?
Yellow.
Yellow. Is it going to fit in the muffin pan? That one, you put it in the right spot. It actually matches the colors. There's some more orange ones. That's very good. I love how you showed me the different colors. Did you find another red one?
Look, I get from these.
You found it? Is it got the bristles?
Yeah.
It's got,
And I put the bristles up.
you picked the bristles up? That's very good. Pick some more. Goodness, that's another yellow one.
Green.
Green. Did that go in the blue one? You moved it back to the green one. I like how you did that. That's a very good job. Does any of them fit down the tubes? Think it'll fit in the tube? There's a pink one. Is it gonna fit? Is it regular? Is it gonna stay in there? Can get the straw out? I like how you're using the straw to dig them out. That's very good thinking, buddy. You're using your brain to figure it out. Is it stuck?
Oh, still in there.
Think we could put another one down there? Did the ball come out?
Yeah.
It did. These are just a few ways that the child will learn how to connect the colors to the coordinating colors in the objects. A lot of this will teach the child how to learn through their brain to process things, such as he used the straw to try to learn to get the pom-poms out of the tubes when they didn't fit. I loved how he used his brain to think about how to match the multiple balls that are the same color in one area on the muffin pan, whether they were squishy or soft or different textures. These are just a few of the steps that children may use and learn to use their brain to learn in the cognitive domain. This is exactly what I want children to learn and explain how cognitive domain connects to their life in the classroom and outside of the classroom. Thank you.